So Stockcars line up, Kahu Moxham, car number 44 on the front row of the grid. Jenna Tree on his outside. Then we go back to Shannon Simon in car 7, who lines up alongside Peter Knight. So there is trophies, first to third for the Ronnie Tree Memorial, but the one that everybody wants to get their hands on is the big Ronnie Tree Memorial Trophy for the biggest stirrer. And there's a couple of drivers out there that I understand would really love to get those trophies that would usually be out there doing a bit of flag racing. They're prepared to get out today and get the elbows out. So looking forward to seeing what unfolds here. 17 cars entered for the stock cars here this afternoon, so an absolutely fantastic field of cars. Of course, we were going to be live streaming this event today. The event is being recorded and will be played possibly tomorrow. Of course, the way the weather was this morning, it was a wee bit iffy whether or not for the Pits TV team to come out and set up their live setup, so we decided just to record it. So a massive thanks to the team at Pits TV, and we've actually got some of them here volunteering. In fact, Jace down there on the infield on the back of the ute at the moment, so a massive thanks to the team for doing their bit here this afternoon. So pace car rolls back to the infield in the starter's hands here. Race number 1 for the afternoon here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. It is the Ronnie Tree Memorial. Of course, once again, a massive welcome to those stock car legends up in the corporate area as well. Great to have you back here at Riverside. Green flag drops. Neither Moxham or Tree giving an inch off the start line here. You can see Peter Knight trying to find a way through. Phil Johnson looking to the outside. He's got his Spartans colours on here, folks. He leads this one. He's up on the outside. Ryan Annabelle looks to the inside of Johnson. He was almost unstoppable last weekend at Beachland Speedway. Picked up a number of race wins over the 2 nights. Luke Fellows, he's in third place, the 131. Peter Knight keeping Jenna Tree absolutely pinned to the wall on the main straight. Tree manages to break free though, sends Knight down onto the infield. So red light has come on. That'll be for Zach Newsham, I would imagine. Car number 6 over on the back straight. In fact, no, it looks like they're heading to the top end of the circuit. So Rylan Annabelle, car number 5, he is your race leader. Brent Haston, he's gone down to the infield there, car number 24, so he's out of this one early. So Rylan Annabelle down the back straight. He's being chased by the 25 machine of Phil Johnson. Shannon Knight getting amongst it down here with Casey McEwen and David Wheeler in car number 57. As the race leaders go through, almost makes contact with that lap car of Casey McEwen. Luke Fellows with a big hit on David Wheeler, right down here in front of the control tower. Car number 79, Sean Hughes having a coming together with the 99 of Adam Neighbour down there to number 3. So not a lot of fast action going on, plenty of tapping, plenty of spinning. As your race leader comes through once more. Trazen, Rylan Annabelle. Car number 5 out of Beachland Speedway in Dunedin. Shannon Knight in behind him, car 29. Casey McEwen's down the lap. Then we go back to Sean Hughes, car 79. Brian Tunifar just using the wall to get around at the moment. Car number 7, that is Shannon Simon. Then Peter Knight, Paul Simon in car 77. Kahu Moxham in the 44. Luke Fellows getting amongst it again. Car number 131. He's been involved in everything so far in heat number 1 of the Ronnie Tree Memorial. Race leader comes through. Car 5 completely untouched at the moment. He's got clear track ahead of him. Through comes Tunifar. Jenna Tree, car 10. Peter Knight, he's dealing one to Shannon Simon, pushes him in field as Paul Simon goes right down the outside. Another big hit by Luke Fellows in the 131. He's put in some good hits in this race. He's certainly chasing that Stirrers Trophy. Race leader through once more. So we go red once again. So they let them stay out there. So yeah, interesting move, but not my call.
And now he's just about stuck straight back where he was.
So car number 5 is your race leader, Ryland Annabelle out of Beachland Speedway in Dunedin. He's up the top end of the circuit. Kahu Moxham on his inside, car number 44. Moxham just trying to block him as they come onto the main straight. Adam Neighbour, car 99. He's about to get some company from Luke Fellows. Car number 131. He's been the big hitter in this one here so far as Luke Fellows. He goes out, gives Neighbour a bit of a nudge. It's all very, very slow-paced stuff at the moment as Peter Knight and the Mopar-powered machine here has a bit of a boil-up. He comes in field as well. Great sounding car, that car. Of course, that whole vintage look to it. But Peter Knight, he'll spend the rest of this race here on the inside looking out. So Ryland Annabelle comes through. So does Brian Tunifar, 98. Pulls him on, rejoins in car 77. Kahu Moxham goes after him. He sends him back down to the infield. So nice hit by Moxham. Manages to get going. He's got Casey McEwen on his outside, along with Shannon Simon in car number 7. Jenna Tree still circulating as well. Car 5 is still your race leader. No idea who's second or third at the moment. As Ryland Annabelle comes through. Luke Fellows on the inside of him. Then we go back to Tunifar. Cannot see the pole line at all down there between 1 and 2, so that could become an issue for future races this afternoon. Shannon Knight, car 29, just a bit of reverse momentum for Shannon. Gets things spun around on the main straight, gets going once more. Tunifar starting to show a little bit of pace in this one here. Car number 98, he's kept out of trouble so far. Pulls him on. Bit of a nudge into the back of Luke Fellows. Through comes the 78 machine. Back 79 machine of Sean Hughes. So Ryland Annabelle getting a bit of attention down there in turn 3 and 4. He's on the inside of Jenna Tree. Casey McEwen chasing hard. He's trying to get it into the back of Jenna Tree's car number 10, the tank machine. Couple of laps to run in this one here. Heat number 1 of the day here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Big contact from Adam Neighbour on Shannon Simon in car 7. Ryland Annabelle, though, he's in a race all by himself out there at the moment. Car number 5. He's kept himself out of trouble so far. Goes around turns 3 and 4. Luke Fellow, he was eyeing him up. Just couldn't get any traction to get out to the wall to get him. The white flag comes out. So gone red for the 3rd time in this race. So we have gone back to green, but a bit of a slow start here. The green flag was waving. Cars on the main straight were moving, but the lights hadn't been flicked on. So comedy of errors there. Bit of a...
Oh no, the green flag's out.
So Jenna Tree comes through. Casey McEwen tangles up on the main straight here as the race leader comes through. The checkered flag out for car number 5. Got there eventually, folks. But it's Ryland Annabelle who comes home as the winner of this one here. Pretty sure Brian Tunifar would be in 2nd place. I would need to confirm that. and Sean Hughes, car number 79, the next one past the checkered flag. That is race one done and dusted, folks. Bit of a shambles out there, but we got there in the end. Once this track surface dries, we'll be back into action. Alrighty, folks, 6 shooters roll out on track. Gone back to our original race order, I believe. So 6 shooters roll out on track, pretty much a full-size sprint car chassis. Well, they are a full-size sprint car chassis. They have the old V6 Holden Commodore motor in them, and a grade that has certainly seen some growth down here in the south over the last 2 or 3 years. A lot of people jumping into this 6-shooter grade. Great to see. The field for today, car number 47, Brad Evans on his outside. Adam Evans, car number 41 out of Central Motor Speedway. 2 car number 41s in the field today. One from Central Motor Speedway, one from Riverside. 41I is Alex Crosby, and of course we must congratulate Alex on his New Zealand Formula 4 Championship. Did 2 in a row there, so this is his first meeting at home in a 6-shooter. He did have a run in Cromwell over the Easter break, so he is car number 41, fresh out of youth saloons and fresh out of winning the New Zealand Formula 4 title. Car number 11, great to see Kirk Hawkins, the Hayden Paints sponsored machine out of Christchurch, travel south for this meeting. Car number 37, that is Daniel McIntosh out of Riverside. Car number 25, Danny Livingston. Car number 34, that is Hayden Graves, his first season of 6-shooter racing. Car 7, the man they call Goober, that is Jason Jenner, auto windscreen replacements car. 66 is Dwayne Cracknell. 46, Andrew Graves behind the wheel of that today. Of course, Hayden Graves' father is a very, very good rally driver. He is behind the wheel of car number 46. He has actually raced a 6-shooter previously. I think last season he had a bit of a skid in young Hayden's car. But Gavin Reeds chucked him the keys to the 46 machine this time around and said, there you go and have a skid in that. Car number 8, Mason Whelan, newcomer to this grade this season, usually runs a modified sprint. And car number 57, he had a wild weekend at Central Motor Speedway a couple of weekends ago. That there is Harrison Brown. So should get a start this time around. Track still relatively greasy out there, so we'll take 2 or 3 races just to bring that right. But it's Evans and Cracknell from the front row of the grid. Cracknell sets the pace, car 66 on the outside. McIntosh follows him through. They go down into turns 1 and 2. Doesn't look too bad down there at all. Of course, we get track conditions like this. Usually leads to getting a very, very drivey track. So as the afternoon goes on, we should see a few wheel stands from our friends in the sprint cars. Cracknell leads lap number 1. Evans tucks in behind him. Brad Evans. Adam Evans ducks up the inside. Car number 41. Then we go back to Hawkins in the 11 machine. McIntosh, Crosby, Harrison Brown trying to find a way through. A little bit of nose to tail contact there with McIntosh and Crosby. Cracknell now under all sorts of pressure up front here. Adam Evans all over the back of him. Of course, Adam Evans, a former Southland 6-shooter champion, currently sitting in 2nd place at the moment, chasing hard. Hawkins starting to get onto the back of the top 3. He's in 4th place at the moment. But Cracknell comes through, so you got Cracknell, Adam Evans, Brad Evans, Hawkins in the 11 machine. Then we go back to McIntosh, Brown, Crosby, Livingston, Hayden Graves, Jason Jenner, Mason Whelan, and Andrew Graves at the tail of this field. Cracknell still holding on, only just up front. Evans just steps out a little bit wide, has a look at him. Can he get the drive coming out of 2? They're side by side. Contact between the 2 cars. Cracknell manages to hold the lead. Evans has another look on the outside. Gets it done this time. He's sort of the first pioneer of this race here, just to move off that low line, and it seems to have worked for him. So the track certainly with something to offer off that main drive line, as shown there by Adam Evans, car number 41. Through he comes, through 3 and 4. Onto the main straight. Heat 1 of the day for 6-shooters here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Cracknell now, he's coming under all sorts of pressure from Kirk Hawkins. Hawkins with a look on the inside at Cracknell. Yellow comes out. That's for Livingston. So lights are out, should get a start this time around. Adam Evans of Central Motor Speedway leads them onto the main straight here. Cracknell chasing, then Evans, Hawkins, McIntosh. Alex Crosby with a bit of a look on the outside of Harrison Brown, couldn't quite make it stick. Brown tries to duck down the outside of McIntosh, so it's a good battle happening back there for 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. Crosby playing a little bit of Morse code on the back of Harrison Brown's push bar. As through comes Evans. Hawkins with a big move on the inside of Brad Evans, couldn't quite make it stick, car 11. He's got McIntosh in behind him, another new driver this season. Then Harrison Brown. Hayden Graves has managed to make a move on Crosby, so he's picked himself up another spot in this one here. But Adam Evans out in front, doing it easy here at the moment. Basically half a straight length is the lead from Cracknell to Evans. White flag will come out this time around for car number 41 from Central Motor Speedway. Adam Evans, Cracknell in second, then Hawkins, 1 lap to run. Evans heads down towards turn 3 and 4 for the last time in this one here. Andrew Graves just coming through, but the race win will go the way of the 41T. Adam Evans, Central Motor Speedway, takes this one here out. Cracknell in second place. Then we go back to Hawkins in third, Brad Evans next in the queue, then McIntosh, Hayden Graves, Harrison Brown. But a well-driven race for Adam Evans. He was patient at the start of this one here. He battled with Cracknell for the first couple of laps, but ended up getting the job done. That is race number 1 for the 6 shooters here this afternoon. Done and dusted. We'll be back in just a moment, folks. We should be seeing, hopefully, Production Saloons roll out on track for their first race of the afternoon. So should get a race start this time around. Hurrying on the inside, Dave McKenzie, his second season of racing the wee Peugeot, off the front row of the grid. He sets the pace, gets off to a nice start. But Hurring should get the inside line, gives him a wee bit of hip and shoulder going round 1 and 2. Ballantyne slips into third place. Then we go back to Murdoch. Anderson, John Lang up the inside of Anderson. These cars really struggling at the moment to get any form of traction out there. Should be pressures down and off you go. John Lang, he's finding a way up the inside, albeit under the pole line. Fitzgerald, car number 7, he's looking racy at the moment. He's managed to pick up half a dozen spots early in this one, but it's a wee Peugeot at the moment that's out in front. Car number 67, Dave McKenzie, he's off to an absolute flyer. Liam Ballantyne holding second place. Then we go back to Brad Fitzgerald, car 7, John Lang, Tony Jones. Aaron Reid not too far off the pace as well. Gavin Hurring, he's just wheel spinning. You can see him down the back straight. Front wheels are doing about 100k an hour. Car's doing about 5. Blake Murdoch, he's in trouble as well. Car number 32, he's trying to steer the Primera down to the infield. So issues for him early in this one. Out in front though, it is still Dave McKenzie. Hasn't won a race in Production Saloons. He's had a couple of placings. But at the moment, he's in control of this one here. It's a light, nimble little car. Fitzgerald now putting pressure on the outside of Ballantyne. Manages to get a move made. Ballantyne gives him an absolute drilling down there between 1 and 2. Sure, Brad won't be too happy about that. John Ling's right there. Tony Jones looking for a way up the inside of the 44 machine. Then we go back to Aaron Reid, Kate Anderson, Alistair Green round the outside of Niall Brooklyn. Race leaders on the main straight. Dave McKenzie, car 67. CSL Transport sponsored car. Comes out of turn 2. Fitzgerald chasing hard. He picked up his first win a couple of meetings ago here at Riverside. But Tony Jones, he's chasing hard now as well. The life member, he's up into third place, ahead of Liam Ballantyne and John Lang. And on the main straight once more, it's Dave McKenzie, car 67. Lap traffic up in front of him in the form of Brian Wilson. Up ahead of Wilson, Laura Heads, Alistair Green, Niall Brooklyn, Kate Anderson. Here comes Jones-O right down the inside of the race leader. So we have a new race leader late in this one here. Tony Jones leads this one here from Mackenzie. Leang now starting to put pressure on Brad Fitzgerald in car number 7. That's for third place. Lap traffic starting to play into this one here. Tony Jones trying to look down the inside of Laura Heads. Manages to do so. Here comes Dave Mackenzie in the 67 car. He's fighting back in this one here. Jones is now caught in behind Niall Brooklyn as they come onto the main straight. Oh, Dave Mackenzie was looking for a way through. There was contact between himself. In fact, the yellow has come out. Behind Ballantyne, we have Kate Anderson, car number 8. 78 of Niall Brooklyn from Beachlands, and Alistair Green, Laura Heads, John Leang, Brian Wilson, and car number 16, Aaron Reid. Of course, it was his bumper that come adrift down the back straight, so he's off the back of the grid for this one here. Green flag drops. Tony Jones will try and grab back the race lead as quickly as possible. Very, very slowed right down on that pole line. Fitzgerald's going to buy into this one here as well, so Tony Jones just struggling to get any form of traction at all out of car number 23. So Mackenzie, well down on horsepower from these preludes that are trying to chase him down, but he's doing a good job on a very, very greasy track. Tony Jones lines him up down there between turns 1 and 2. Just needs to be able to pull himself up. He doesn't want to go down there with too much speed on and use Mackenzie as the brakes. Side by side down the back straight. Jones and Mackenzie, the elbows are out on car 23 and car 67, but Jones manages to clear Mackenzie this time. Liam Ballantyne not too far off the pace here as well. He's currently in 4th place. They've cleared away from the rest of the pack. Just no grip on offer at all out there for these cars at the moment. Of course, these cars, they run a standard car tyre, the same as what you'd run in the old family car. Of course, a few of the boys like to get the old groovers out and cut some bigger grooves in them. Alistair Green, he's going to park up down there in turn number 2, so we're going to see another caution. So second restart in this one here. Tony Jones will lead them around with Dave Mackenzie still holding second place. He's driven well, Dave. Brad Fitzgerald in 3rd place. Then Liam Ballantyne, car number 27. He's been impressive in this one as well. Goes high and wide. Ballantyne, he's almost opening the door there for Niall Brooklyn to have a bit of a look through. Fitzgerald's fallen back from the leaders, so he may have issues, car number 7. Of course, these cars picking up a lot of mud at the moment. On the main straight, the white flag is out. Tony Jones comes through. Mackenzie still holding second, then Fitzgerald. Ballantyne. Niall Brooklyn, side by side with his club mate John Leang, giving each other a bit of a nudge around 1 and 2. Mackenzie trying to stretch the legs on car number 67, trying to chase the race leader, Tony Jones, but Jones is just going to be a little bit too quick in this one here. He'll take out the first race for Production Saloons here. Mackenzie in 2nd place. Then we go back to Fitzgerald, Liam Ballantyne, that rear bumper of his car flapping around in the breeze there as well. But that's the Creativity Plus Production Saloons heat number 1 done and dusted. We'll be back in just a moment, folks, with Streetstocks, their first race of the afternoon. Of course, they are running this afternoon for the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. So Ben Jenkins on the inside of the front row. Stu Reid on the outside as we go green here. Heat 1. Cecile Kergozou Memorial. Stu Reid off to a good start. Jenkins on his inside. Chris Kergozou holding 3rd place at the moment with the 82 of Troy Dryden, the Destroyer, in 4th place. Mitch Lavender trying to find a way down the inside there of Troy Dryden. Can't quite get it done. A lot of these cars, of course, still struggling for a bit of grip out there. Very, very greasy on track at the moment. But the MV Motors machine of Ben Jenkins ducks down the inside. of Stu Reid. Of course, Ben Jenkins, one of the members of the victorious Beachlands Bulldogs that won the State of Origin up at Woodford Glen just a few weeks ago. Steve Dryden keeping the nose clean there. He ducks right down the inside of Troy Dryden. He's currently up into third place, but out front it's the two Beachlands boys leading this one here. Ben Jenkins out in front, Mitch Lavender in second place. Then we go back to Steve Dryden, Troy Dryden, Alan Finch, Chris Kergozou, Stu Reid, AJ Lapsley, Graham McKernan in the 69 machine. The 95 of Lance Yo, he gets a bit of a helping hand around there from Dylan McCaddy in car number 10. McCaddy, of course, is your defending champion. Still Jenkins leading. Lavender, Steve Dryden, Troy Dryden, Finch, AJ Lapsley, he gets down there and turns, call it 3 and 4 of reverse direction. He had a bit of a rollover last weekend at Beachlands as well, did Lapsley. He's stranded down there at the moment, of course, very, very muddy down on the immediate infield as Jenkins comes through once more. Lavender not really making any ground on the race leader. Kergozou down the outside of Lapsley. Lapsley's a lap down in this one. McCaddy looking for a way down the inside of Stuart Reid, car number 17. Of course, Stuart Reid started the season in a modified sprint, now finds himself in Streetstocks. So there's a lap car between first and second at the moment. Lance Yo, car number 95. He's a lap down, folks. Your man in front is the 345 machine of Ben Jenkins. Dylan McCaddy just lining up Stu Reid. You can see he's pretty casually one-handed on the old steering wheel there for Dylan McCaddy. He's just cruising here at the moment. Has a look to the inside of Stu Reid. So Steve Dryden, here's a bit of an excursion. Gets back on track though, loses a couple of spots. Chris Kergozou, trouble for him, car number 86. He goes to the infield, so not the start to the Kergozou Memorial that he would have wanted. He'll be absolutely livid. It's the one trophy he really would like to get his hands on. But he's not going to score any points in this one here. Parked up down on the infield. Car number 95, Yo, that front bumper twisted right around, so not sure how long the officials will let him run. Car number 17 with a flat tyre, left rear as well. So they are going to go red. They've probably seen those couple of issues, the same couple of issues that I just spotted. So set for a restart in this one here. Ben Jenkins, your race leader, car number 345. Heat number 1, Cecile Kergozou Memorial. Mitch Lavender in second place. He's car 555. Then we go back to Troy Dryden, car 82. Then Finch, Steve Dryden, Graham McKernan, AJ Lapsley. Car 10, Dylan McCaddy at the tail of the field in this one here. Jenkins comes through once more. Not many race meetings you'll go to where you won't see the likes of Ben Jenkins or Mitch Lavender at the front of the pack. A couple of very, very quick cars. Of course, Braden Adams usually behind the wheel of the 475 machine. Alan Finch driving that today. He's starting to put a little bit of pressure on the back of Troy Dryden. That's for third place in heat number 1 here. Could it be a Beachlands trifecta? Graham McKernan gets back on track. He was playing a bit of cat and mouse with Dryden just a moment ago. AJ Lapsley gets into the back of McKernan and spins him around. So Lavender, who's in second place, he comes through. Troy Dryden still chasing him and not far off the pace. Alan Finch in car number 475. Dylan McCaddy, a lot of smoke coming out of the back of car number 10 as he just went through turn 3 and 4. He tags on to AJ Lapsley, sends him around. Through comes McCaddy, of course, with those cars not finishing, even though he's down the back of the field. He'll still pick up pretty good points in this one here, McCaddy. Picked up second place at the Battle of the Streetstocks last weekend. But here comes Ben Jenkins down the inside of Graham McCoon, and the checkered flag will come out for car number 345. He will take out heat number 1 of the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. A nice drive by Jenkins, untroubled the whole way through this one here. The 555 of Mitch Lavender, home in second place ahead of car number 82, Troy Dryden from Riverside, home in third. That is heat number 1, Cecile Kergozou Memorial, done and dusted. Heat number 1 of the Southland Sprint Car Champs is set to come up next. Of course, Stronach picked herself up a Hydrolink War of the Wings heat win here at Riverside a little bit earlier this year. She gets off to a strong start, leads them down to turns 1 and 2. McKinnell down low with Fedu Taiwa challenging. Then the reigning champ, Nigel Colvin, car number 42, ducks up the inside of Taiwa. He had a bit of a rollover last weekend up at Ruapuna Speedway to Colvin. Got a regroup, got that car sorted. He goes up the inside of Ross McKinnell. McKinnell gives him plenty of room, ducks into that third spot. Then we go back to Taiwa, John Sivrite next to McHugh, but Shannara Stronach off to a flyer in this one here. Track actually looking pretty good out there at the moment. Plenty of drive coming out of 2. So Colvin chasing Stronach. About a straight length at the moment, the gap between first and second place. Then we go back to McKinnell, Fedu Taiwa, John Sivrite. Nothing between those cars, battling for third, fourth and fifth currently. A little bit of smoke starting to come out of Nigel Colvin's machine, car number 42. He's chasing the race leader, Shannara Stronach, ticks the box. One more lap done for Stronach. Southland Championship is what is on the line here this afternoon for sprint cars. Nigel Colvin certainly not losing any performance with that smoke, probably just a bit of oil burning onto the pipes of car 42. McKinnell still holding third place. Then we go back to Taiwa. John Sivrite. Sivrite starting to charge now at Fedu Taiwa. Lap starting to count down. Heat number 1 of the Southland Championship. Of course, the sprint cars with the big fat tyres and all the horsepower starting to really bring this track to life. Stronach through once more. Big backfire from Nigel Colvin as he comes past the control tower there. No more smoke from his car. One more lap to go. Shannara Stronach has not put a foot wrong in this one here. She's got one lap to bag maximum points in heat number 1 for the Southland Championship. Colvin closing the gap, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be Shannara Stronach who'll take out heat number 1 for sprint cars. Followed home by Colvin in second place. Ross McKinnell, a nice drive by McKinnell to come home in third, ahead of Fedu Taiwa and John Sivrite. So Shannara Stronach, a nice drive. She takes out heat number 1 here for the Southland Sprint Car Championship. Must do a bit of a shout out too to Slammin' Sam O'Callaghan. I understand that he's trackside here today. Had a nasty rollover at Central Motor Speedway just a few weeks ago and done some damage to the old spine, so good to see you back here, Sam, and a big thanks to all those that chipped in and helped out when Sam needed it most. So great to see you back here trackside and enjoying the Speedway action. Coming up next, folks, we're going to see the stars of the future. Saloons will be out on track for their first race of the afternoon. Ollie Murdoch shall control the pace from grid position 2. Caden Cracknell on the inside. Watch for Caden Race to get a big jump on the outside and go early. He does. Leads this one here down to turns 1 and 2. Caden Race, a brand new car for him, so every lap will be a learning curve for young Caden. Caden Cracknell in second place. Then we see Josh McIntyre starting to work his way through early in this one here. Car 12. Kiddo tagging right in behind them, so bit of a gap back to second, but second, third and fourth relatively tight at the moment. Josh Richardson not wasting any time getting his way through the field either. He started at the back of the field, as did Max Kemp. Richardson now up the inside of Memphis, down the back straight. Stretton comes through, so does Stanton, the race leader, Caden Race. McIntyre now on the outside of Caden Cracknell, side by side. McIntyre got out in the thick stuff, couldn't get any drive coming out of 2. We've gone yellow for Memphis, it looks like, car number 18, Zoe Memphis. So lights are out once more. Hopefully this time a tidier start for the youth Saloons. Their first race here of the afternoon at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Been a testing start to the day, rain delays and track delays, and a few delays on track as well. So Caden Cracknell completely missed the start in that one there, went from second place down to 4th. Don't know whether it was some sort of gear selection issue for Caden Race, but he seems to be off and racing now. In fact, Caden Race is leading this one here. Too many Cadens. So Caden Race comes on through. Car 49, he's being chased hard by Josh McIntyre. Noah Kino, he's looking good in this one here as well. Car number 27 from Beachland Speedway in Dunedin. Then we go back to Caden Cracknell. Got the name right this time. Memphis. Murdoch gets passed by both Richardson and Kemp. Baton Benfound just there in behind her as well. Then Bennett, Lockie Robinson. Madison Pine, car number 6, the Branks Own Construction sponsored machine on the main straight now. Certainly gaining a little bit more confidence each meeting. So a new race leader, McIntyre, out in front of this one here, car number 12. Goes around the outside of Rose Stanton. She gives him plenty of room, just sits down on the low line. Caden Race still chasing. Kiddo in 3rd place. But bolting away at the front of this one here, car 12. Josh McIntyre. Through he comes. He's had a big season as McIntyre. Of course, he races youth mini stocks at Central Motor Speedway. Broke his arm earlier in the year, so missed a fair chunk of action. But his first full-time year of racing here at Riverside. And he's certainly proving to be one of the cars to beat. Lockie Robinson, he gets a bit of a tank slapper down there in turn number 1 and 2. Holly Murdoch, she's looped it around as well. Just about had a little bit of a confrontation there with the race leader. So I'd imagine we're going to see another yellow for Holly Murdoch down there. The 96 car looking a bit hot out there at the moment, but a steam coming from the front of that.
At least something's hot.
So another restart here for the youth Saloons. This race brought to you by Stress Creek, Southland. McIntyre off to a flyer. Kiddo having a big look at Caden Race. That's your battle for 2nd and 3rd place at the moment. Caden Cracknell again having trouble getting off the line in car number 66. He fell down a couple of spots there, struggled to get away. Manages to get up to speed once more. He's just ahead of Bennett from Beachland Speedway. So Caden Race. 2nd at the moment, he's chasing McIntyre. They head down the back straight. Caden Race certainly not letting him stretch away like he did last time around. The white flag set to come out though from McIntyre. One more lap to go for car 12. He leads this one here. He's got Isaiah Stretton just up ahead of him. Goes to the outside. Goes past Rose Stanton. She goes to the infield, car number 98. McIntyre down on the inside. Caden Race out high and wide. But it's going to be McIntyre who will take this one here out. Race in 2nd place. Then we go back to Kiddo. A nice drive for the 27 machine. Then Memphis in car number 18. The 53 of Richardson next in the queue. Then Benfound, Cracknell, Bennett, Robertson. But a well-driven race win, car number 12, Josh McIntyre. I was almost going to say Jacob McIntyre, Josh McIntyre. Of course, the more talented of the two brothers. Car number 12 takes this one here out. We'll have a quick pause for the cause, folks. We'll be back in just a moment with heat number 1, the Rob McLaren Memorial for Saloons, coming up next. Small field with plenty of talent. And it's Bennett and Dan Black on the main straight. Black manages to hold the position on the outside. A little bit of contact there between Jason Gold and the 24 of Darren McLeod. McLeod was a wee bit out of sorts there. He's now tucked in behind Graham Williamson. Mark Dobson, the defending champion, he's dropped back 2 or 3 spots in car 51. He'll be getting frustrated. He was flustered earlier on because he's our track man here, and the rain really did wreak havoc with this track. So he'll be a little bit flustered at the moment, Mark Dobson. Darcy Hewitt high and wide around 3 and 4. Lets Williamson and Burgess through. Of course, Burgess, he's been absolutely dogged with mechanical issues with car 15, so I'd like to see him get a clean run here today. Oh, big contact there. It was McLeod went into the back of Darcy Hewitt, and then Dobson, with nowhere to go, went straight into the back of McLeod. A little bit tidier this time around. Dan Black, the 112. Pits TV sponsored machine, leads him down to turns 1 and 2. Oh, he's really sledging. Coming out of 2, there was no grip on offer whatsoever. That's allowed Bennett to sneak the nose of the 66 car down the inside. Jason Gold, he's right there as well. Car 88, trying to find a way through. Darcy Hewitt goes right out to the wall, gives out a bit of a kiss coming out of the exit of turn 4, but Dan Black being attacked by Bennett. Gold's right there, then Williamson. Phil Burgess, new stealth machine for him this season. Then Darcy Hewitt once more out very wide, millimetres between him and the wall here at the moment. Still Dan Black starting to pull away from the field now. He's got his composure back. Car looked really uncomfortable earlier on. He was sledging around turns 1 and 2, but he seems to have the power on more now. You can see the car just rising up slightly, so he's getting a better power range out of the 112. Leads him down the main straight. Bennett still holding second, then Jason Gold, Graham Williamson. Phil Burgess now starting to put the pressure on Graham Williamson, so Burgess starting to get to grips with car 15 as well. Darcy Hewitt, car 11. At the tail of this field, Black comes through for one more lap. Burgess really starting to attack Williamson. That's a good battle down there for 4th and 5th place. Jason Gold still chasing Bennett. He would dearly love to sneak past and get up there to challenge Dan Black, but Dan Black, he went high and wide once more. He managed to hold on to it though. Lost a couple of car lengths in the process. No change up front whatsoever. Still Black, Bennett and Gold. Phil Burgess just playing out wide in car 15. He's looking quick. Can he get a run on car 21 of Graham Williamson? Through goes Black once more. Bennett still holding second, then Gold. Williamson. Half a car length between Williamson and Burgess as they head down the back straight. The white flag is out for Dan Black. Williamson, has he left the door open enough for Burgess to have a look through? Not quite. Hewitt starting to come on at the end of this one as well. It's going to be too little too late because out front it's going to be Dan Black. 112 from Riverside Speedway is going to take out heat number 1 of the Rod McLaren Memorial. Bennett home in second place ahead of Jason Gold in third. Then Williamson. Burgess, he'll be happy with that performance. And Darcy Hewitt at the tail of the field. So Dan Black, he banks maximum points. Heat number 1, the Rod McLaren Memorial. 4 saloons here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. We'll take a quick break, folks, and be back with round 2 of action in just a moment. So clerk of the course, Jason Gutteridge, just going through, making sure that everybody is nose to tail. Sitting ready for a start. Heat number 2, Ronnie Tree Memorial, about to get underway here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Neighbour and fellows from the front row of the grid. Watch for Casey McEwen to charge hard from fourth spot, second row. He's car 16, Luke Fellows. Waste no time whatsoever. Getting out to the front of this one here. Oh, there's big contact there. Casey McEwen goes up the wall in car 16. 25 of Phil Johnson was absolutely drilled. He had to come back the same direction to get back out on track. Peter Knight goes around, car 27. Casey McEwen manages to get underway once more. I'd imagine McEwen now will almost wait for the race leader and go after Fellows. Brian Tunifar holding second place at the moment. Then we go back to Zach Newsham. A good start for Newsham in car 6. A couple of cars parked up on the infield here early. Shannon Simon puts a hit on Kahu Moxham. 2 young drivers that raced Saloons together. So Fellows comes through. Brian Tunifar just behind him. That's your battle for first and second place. Tunifar down the inside now of Luke Fellows. So he takes over the race lead in this one here. He's about to catch up with Adam Neighbour. Car number 99 tries to unsettle him. Luke Fellow gets into the back of him as well. So no friends out there at the moment. Everybody taking out club mates and having a crack at people. There's no sort of club tactics at the moment by the looks of it. Jesse Hamilton there just having a bit of a play with Casey McEwen. McEwen trying to get past. Jesse Hamilton not making it easy. So your race leader, Brian Tunifar, on the main straight now. Comes through to tip the box once more. Goes around the outside of Kahu Moxham. Jesse Hamilton gets himself out of the way. Nice hit down there in turn number 3. That was Shannon Knight on the 79 machine of Sean Hughes. So Hughes parked up. Tunifar still leads this one here. Car number 98 is your race leader. Luke Fellows in second place. Car number 131. Zach Newsham was in third. He's down on the infield looking for a way to get back out on track. Rylan Annabelle, he's in third at the moment though. He's managed to grab another spot. Through comes Tunifar, car 98. Rylan Annabelle starting to chase down Luke Fellows. Shannon Knight just circulating at the moment. He's down on the infield. He's waiting for someone. Zach Newsham coming through. Car number 6. Oh, there's a car right up here on the main straight. 2 of the Otapuni Motorsport cars have a getting together. As I mentioned before, folks, no one's holding back at all. Adam Neighbour puts in a nice hit.
Oh yeah, I got the start of it.
Just feeds him into the wall down here on the main straight. Gives him a gentle little ride up the wall. So Frono, Sean Hughes. Put your hands together, folks, for him. He's just wandering down to the infield there at the moment.
Yeah, I got that.
It was his first skid in that car here this afternoon. Brian Tunifar, car number 98, still your race leader. Car number 5, Rylan Annabelle in second place. Then we go back to Luke Fellow, Zach Newsham in car number car number 6, sorry. Tunifar looking racy up front. He hasn't been challenged. Peter Knight in behind him, car 27. Of course, Knight's a lap down. Rylan Annabelle right up the inside of Jenna Tree. In fact, Kahu Moxham's car caught up down there in turn number 3. Of course, that was a car that the crash crew went down to check out before. So Brian Tunifar, car number 98, is your current race leader. Zach Newsham in second place. He and Luke Fellows both battling it out. In fact, Luke Fellows managed to get just ahead of Zach Newsham. White flag comes out for Brian Tunifar. Looks like we're finally going to get to the end of this race here. Heat number 2 for Stockcars here. The final meeting at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. And Brian Taniwha, who comes around turn 3 and 4, car number 98 from Central Motor Speedway. He will take this one out. Peter Knight comes through, pretty sure he was a lap down. It'll be Luke Fellow, car number 131 in second place. Ahead of car number 6, Zach Newsham in third. That's Stockcars. Heat number 2 for the Ronnie Tree Memorial here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. The first race at the track was absolutely caked in mud. Set for a start this time around. Livingston sets the pace on the outside, car 25. He'll head them down to turn 1 and 2. Evans will have a wee sniff down the inside. Harrison Brown there attacking early as well. That's your top 3. Mason Whelan in 4th place. Then we go back to Graves. He's off to a good start in this one here. Cracknell ducks in behind him. Then McIntosh. Jenner. Evans, Hawkins, Crosby. And Andrew Graves at the tail of the field, car 46. Out in front though, still Livingston leading this one here, car 25. This is a good start for Livingston. Evans though with a beautiful move down the inside. Livingston gave him just enough space and through he went. Watch for Harrison Brown in car 57 to go with him. If he can make a way through. Mason Whelan still holding place. Oh, there's contact down there between Cracknell and it looked to be Graves, car number 34. Graves had, in fact, Cracknell had nowhere to go. It was Graves that spun. Evans starts from the front. Of course, he picked up a race win in Heat 1. Here he is leading Heat number 2. Heads off down the back straight past the Community Trust of Southland side. Harrison Brown still holding 3rd place. Mason Whelan looking racy at the moment as well. Car number 8 putting all sorts of pressure on Harrison Brown. Then we go back to McIntosh, Brad Evans, Dwayne Cracknell, Kirk Hawkins, car 11 out of Ruapuna Speedway. Alex Crosby with a nice move down the outside of Jason Jenner in car 7. Then Hayden Graves and Andrew Graves in the 46 car. Evans now about a third of a straight length. The lead over the field. Andrew Graves goes infield. Livingston under all sorts of pressure from the Sam Brown concrete cutting sponsored car of Harrison Brown. Then Mason Whelan, he's in 4th place. He's looked good in this one here. Whelan, he's impressed me. Of course, he's a modified sprint driver. He went to go and buy a trailer, and the trailer happened to come with a 6-shooter, so he thought, bugger it, I'll have a crack at this as well. And certainly very, very good driver. He's picked up wins in both modified sprints and 6-shooters this season. Can that car right down there on turn 4 with the brake lights on, please turn them off? And just wait till the end of the race maybe before you actually leave, because that's really off-putting for the drivers. So still out in front, Evans with a handy lead. Harrison Brown now gets himself up into 2nd place. Mason Whelan making a late charge in this one here for 3rd, but he won't get it done. It's the 2nd race win for Evans. A nice drive once again. Harrison Brown home in 2nd place. And 25, Danny Livingston, a nice drive by Livingston. He led for a few laps in this one here. He comes home in 3rd place, just ahead of Whelan, McIntosh, Cracknell, Hawkins, then Brad Evans, Alex Crosby, Jason Jenner. The 2 from 2 so far this afternoon for Adam Evans, car number 41 at a Central Motor Speedway here. So green flag awaits. Jones on the outside, Niall Brooklyn on the inside. Jones gets off to a good start. Still looks pretty greasy down there with that bit of water down between 1 and 2. Number of cars really struggling. Dave McKenzie, Liam Valentine, they have a bit of it coming together, as does Brad Fitzgerald and Niall Brooklyn. Gavin Hurring trying to find a way through. So it does look to be a lot of standing water between 1 and 2. So Jones leads this one here. Fitzgerald on the outside. Car number 7 currently holding second place. Then Niall Brooklyn and Gavin Hurring. They're disputing some real estate for third place. Number of cars really having to pull up down there in 1 and 2. Tony Jones, Fitzgerald in second place. Can Fitzgerald put some pressure on Jones this time around? Gavin Hurring looking racy. Car number 6 out of Central Motor Speedway. That turn 1 and 2 just not getting any drier whatsoever. You can see all the cars, Niall Brooklyn right out towards the wall there. Liam Ballantyne found a nice way down the inside. Alistair Green heads to the infield, car number 47. 2 race starts, 2 DNFs for Alistair in this one today. As Jones comes through once more. Just controls it around turns 1 and 2. Gavin Hurring doesn't control it quite so well. Ballantyne down low, that rear bumper on car number 27 hanging off once more. Of course, he had issues with that in heat number 1. Niall Brooklyn, he goes to the infield, car 78. Through comes the race leader once more, Tony Jones. Brad Fitzgerald in second place. Then we go to Hurring. They've managed to make a move on Brian Wilson in car number 7 out of Beachland Speedway. Liam Ballantyne in 4th, car number 27. Then we go back to Aaron Reid, Dave McKenzie in that wee Peugeot, car number 67. Then it's Laura Heads in 64, Kate Anderson in 8. And behind Kate Anderson you will see the race leader, Tony Jones, car 23. Gavin Hurring also goes to the infield, so that elevates car number 27, Liam Ballantyne, up to 3rd place. The Humble Pie, Gourmet Pie sponsored car out of Central Motor Speedway. Bit of damage on the front of Laura Heads' 64 machine. She moves a little bit wide, welcomes the race leader through on the inside. That's Tony Jones in car number 23. He powers out on the low line, turn number 2. He's about 3/4 of a straight length ahead of the man in second place at the moment. Car number 7, Brad Fitzgerald. In fact, that's an ex-Tony Jones machine, car number 7. Laps starting to count down. Creativity Plus Production Saloons. Race leader just going into turn 3 and 4 at the moment. Comes onto the main straight, ticks the lap. One more time, white flag should come out next time around. Fitzgerald goes through, manages to get past Laura Heads. The man in 3rd at the moment, car number 27 from Central Motor Speedway. That there is Liam Ballantyne. But Tony Jones starts to go into turn number 3. Onto the main straight. White flag will come out this time around. Through comes Fitzgerald. Ballantyne still holding 3rd place. And we go back to Aaron Reid and Dave McKenzie. 3 cars parked up on the infield, but Tony Jones got a jump at the start of this one here. He was challenged by Niall Brooklyn in lap number 1, but it's the only car that's challenged him, and he takes out a race win. Tony Jones, car number 23, 2 from 2 here this afternoon so far. Brad Fitzgerald home in 2nd place. And car number 27 from Central Motor Speedway, Liam Ballantyne, comes home in 3rd. That is Production Saloons, their 2nd race of the afternoon here, done and dusted. Coming up next, heat number 2, the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. So clerk of the course is happy. AJ Lapsley sort of jumping about there early. Rear wheels are going around. He's actually doing a bit of a burnout on the grid here, AJ Lapsley, number 14. So crash crew park up, set for a race start here. Heat 2, Cecile Kergozou Memorial set to get underway. Steve Dryden just parks the 33 machine up, and there's big contact there between Finch and the 345 of Ben Jenkins. So Steve Dryden does the job there. Finch not happy about it. He's right into the back of Dryden early in this one here. So some of these team tactics starting early in this one here. Stu Reed and the 69 of Graham McKernan, they have a bit of a coming together as well. So Steve Dryden helping out his Riverside clubmates. As Dylan McCaddy comes through, followed with Troy Dryden behind him. Then we go to Mitch Lavender, car 555, the first of the Beachlands cars. Then AJ Lapsley, Ben Jenkins, Lance Yeo, 475 of Alan Finch. Then Dryden, Stu Reed, Graham McKernan, and then your race leader, Dylan McCaddy, out of K&M Motorsport, leads this one here. Troy Dryden in second place. Of course, he got up to third in heat number 1. So he would dearly love to bag some precious points in race number 2. Keep an eye on car 33, folks. Steve Dryden, you can tell he's just got that car in full hunting mode. Goes down the inside of Lance Yeo. A lot of smoke coming out of the back of car 14. AJ Lapsley, Ben Jenkins absolutely sizes him up and delivers him to the infield. A nice move by Jenkins in car 345. Absolutely trying to get back on track. There's no traction whatsoever to get out there. So McCaddy in a tangle up down there in turn 3 and 4. So Dryden leads this one here now. Mitch Lavender in second place. Lavender gives the wall a bit of a hit. AJ Lapsley goes into him. Lapsley has a second bite, puts Lavender around. So Ben Jenkins now up into second place, even after being held up at the start of the race by Steve Dryden. Lapsley, he goes infield in car number 14, so trouble for him. Then we go back to the 475 of Finch. So the red light on, that'll be for Mitch Lavender, car 555. So Lavender parks up after getting some attention from AJ Lapsley, car 14. Go racing once more. Your race leader, car number 82, Troy Dryden. On the main straight now, he's got Graham McKernan up ahead of him. Goes to the outside of McKernan. Stu Reed, he gets ejected by Ben Jenkins. Finch is right there as well. That's the 345 and the 475. At a Beachlands Speedway in Dunedin. Dryden next in the queue. He's in 4th place. Then McCaddy in 5th. Stu Reed in 6th. Then Lance Yeo. Race leader coming out of turn number 2. Troy Dryden. Ben Jenkins still in 2nd place, but he's about a straight length away. Dryden getting a little bit of attention from Yeo down there coming out of turn number 3 and 4. Manages to get past. Contact there, Graham McKernan sends Ben Jenkins down to the infield. Jenkins just regathering things. Getting back on track. Jenkins going after Dryden and gets him down there in turn number 2. So Ben Jenkins gets payback on Steve Dryden. Through goes Troy Dryden, leading this one here. All that'll do is fire Steve Dryden up. Dylan McCaddy. He was just ahead of Graham McKernan. McKernan gets spun by Ben Jenkins. Troy Dryden down the inside of his father, Steve Dryden. Steve will give him plenty of room. He'll be trying to help him grab the Cecile Kergozou Memorial Trophy. So Yeo, he gets down to from Finch. Car number 475. He's currently in 2nd place. White flag out for Troy Dryden. One more lap to run for car number 82. Lance Yeo just backing out of the wall there. They were thinking about calling a red, but he is moving. So car number 82 into the last corner of this one here. He will take out heat number 2 for the Cecile Kergozou Memorial Trophy. It's Troy Dryden in second place. We're going to see the 4.75 of Finch. And then car 10, Dylan McCaddy getting up to third place ahead of Ben Jenkins. But a nice drive for Troy Dryden. There'll be a wee bit of contact after the flag there. That was Yo on Finch. So they might have a wee conversation about that one there, I would imagine. But a pretty entertaining race. And it really sets up heat number 3 of the Cecile Kergozou Memorial, which we will see a little bit later on here this afternoon. Coming up next, though, folks, we're going to see heat number 2. Southland Sprint Car Championship is what's on the line next. Alrighty, folks, we'll do the draw for the 50-50 raffle at the end of this race. But of course, this is heat number 2, Southland Sprint Car Championship. Nice start by Ross McKinnell. The only Riverside car in this field. The Aotea machine powers away nicely down to 1 and 2. Civ Wright in second place at the moment. Then we go back to Colvin and Shannara Stronach. McKinnell looking racy. Of course, you get a bit of clear air in these cars. Oh, Civ Wright went around just in front of Nigel Colvin. Thought that Colvin was actually going to go into the side of him. He's done well to get that car back on track, but he's lost a couple of spots there. So Nigel Colvin now, can he chase down Ross McKinnell? Both very, very experienced drivers. And Colvin looking racy. He is the current Southland champ. Goes right out towards the wall. He's really starting to chew into that lead that Ross McKinnell's got, but he's probably done more laps here, Ross McKinnell, than any other driver in the sprint car field. He's been around since the 80s. Colvin with a big lunge down the inside. He's going to loop it. He's going to go around. Can he keep it going? He can. So Shannara Stronach picks up another spot now. She's up to second in this one here. So McKinnell comes through. He's your race leader. Shannara Stronach in second place. Then we go back to Colvin. Civ Wright next in the queue. So, of course, being a smaller field of cars, of course, they get that chance to get the foot down and do the loop, and off they go again. A bigger field, you definitely would not see that happen. So, McKinnell with a handy lead in this one here. Heat number 2 of the Southland Sprint Car Championship. Through comes the Aotea machine. Then Stronach. Nigel Colvin. Colvin coming back quick at Stronach. That telltale smoke off Colvin's car once again. We've seen it in heat number 1 as well. Very, very smoky this time around though. John Civ Wright, he's in 4th. Laps counting down, 1 more to run for Ross McKinnell. Can he grab maximum points here in heat number 2? Picked up a 3rd placing in heat 1. Stronach starting to close on McKinnell, but it's going to be too little too late, or is it? Stronach with a big look down the inside. It's going to be McKinnell. McKinnell just gets to the line ahead of Stronach. Colvin in 3rd place. Caden Race, car number 49. He starts up alongside Madison Pine, car number 6. Then, of course, we see Max Kemp, car number 9. And car number 63, Isaiah Stratton, as we go racing. Lockie Robinson right up the inside of Benfowl there, but Benfowl manages to hold his line. Gets nice drive out of turn number 2, but so does McIntyre, your race 1 winner. He's got to the front pretty smartly in this one here. Rose Stanton, car number 98. Just struggling to get to the infield in that car. She had a DNF in heat number 1. Just trying to get back on track here at the moment. She's gone down a lap early. So out in front, a good battle starting to really heat up. Josh McIntyre and Josh Richardson. They've been pretty classy in this youth saloon field all season, and it's a fitting way for them to be finishing their season, battling it out here in heat number 2. Oh, there's all sorts of trouble down there in turn number 1 and 2. Lockie Robinson, Ashley Bennett, Peyton Benfeld, Max Kemp, they're all down there. So still one round of racing each to go for the grades that are running for something. Of course, we've got the Rob McLaren Memorial, Cecile Kergozou Streetstock Memorial, Ronnie Stockcar Memorial, Best Peers for Saloons, and of course we've got the Southland Sprint Car Championship still to decide. And then of course the Demolition Derby a little bit later on, 17 cars. In fact, 13 cars it might be entered in that one, 13 cars it is. So we get underway once more. Car number 12, Josh McIntyre, heads him off down the back straight. Then we go back to Richardson and Kiddo. That's your top three. That's been the top three pretty much right from the start of this one here. Very, very hard, of course, for these drivers to adjust their vision with that bright sunshine. Of course, they're racing in the shadows as they hit the back straight. And all of a sudden, they come around turn 3 and it's bright sunshine. So they're doing pretty well at the moment. These young drivers are all aged between 12 and 16 years of age. On the main straight once more, we see McIntyre, Richardson and Kiddo. All three cars at the pointy end of this field, starting to drive away from the opposition. In fourth place at the moment, we see Caden Race, then Bennett, Memphis, Cracknell and Kemp. So McIntyre goes around the outside of Stanton. He's starting to clear away now from Richardson. Richardson's putting up a pretty good fight, but he just can't quite match it with McIntyre. McIntyre to the outside of Isaiah Stretton. He's looking quicker this afternoon as well. Car 63, of course, on that mentor program. So he'll be starting in the pack next season, a new season, of course, for the youth saloons. Holly Murdoch, Madison Pine, through they come. The race leader just behind them. So McIntyre about to put them a lap down. Cracknell goes to the infield, car 66. Max Kemp wasting no time whatsoever, getting the hang of car number 9. He goes to the outside of Bennett. He's looking racy. Nice drive by McIntyre. Put the car right out towards the wall here on the main straight. Very, very good racecraft for a young bloke. Hard to believe he only started racing at the start of this season. There he comes around turns 3 and 4. He'll pick up the white flag. Second one for the afternoon. Can he hold on for one more? Richardson still holding second place. Then we go back to Kiddo. He's been impressive. He's starting to string together some really good results. There's Noah Kiddo. But your race leader, he's about to put a third lap on. Rose Stanton, car number 12, takes this one here out. In the youth saloons, it's Josh McIntyre. Richardson, a nice drive home in second place, ahead of Kiddo in third. Then we go back to Caden Race. Max Kemp, Zoe Memphis. And a big move by Lockie Robinson late in this one here to get Bennett on the line, but it is McIntyre that takes it out. 2 from 2 for McIntyre. Some good racing here this afternoon for the Harvey Tanks Youth Saloons. That's their second race, done and dusted here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Should get a start this time around. Rod McLaren Memorial, heat number 2 for Saloons here. And Burgess gets off to an absolute flyer. That allows Jason Gold to sneak up into second place. So a nice start by Gold. Graham Williamson, he slipped back down the order there slightly. He's tucked in behind Mark Dobson. Dan Black trying to find a way through there as well. So Williamson fighting back well though. He's up into that third spot just ahead of Mark Dobson. But out in front, it is Phil Burgess, car 15 from Central Motor Speedway, the Toyota Tyres sponsored car. Looking racy at the early stages of this one here. Jason Gold holding second place. Then we go to Williamson. Dobson, Black, Bennett, McLeod and Hewitt. Williamson starting to attack Jason Gold. Phil Burgess comes through. As we mentioned before, he's had a pretty tough season as Burgess. He would dearly love to bank a win here this afternoon at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Jason Gold half a car length up the inside of Burgess. So Burgess having to defend at the moment. Here comes Gold on the inside. Getting some encouragement from his team down in front of the control tower here. Ducks down the inside of Phil Burgess. A nice move. Stretches his legs down the back straight. Williamson waiting to pounce. Of course, Williamson and Burgess, they had a great battle in heat number 1. Here they are again in heat 2, side by side. Williamson with that inside front wheel high in the air. Burgess, he's stuck in just a difficult spot there at the moment. He's got Williamson right down the inside of him. A little bit of hip and shoulder there as Williamson goes through in 1 and 2. Dan Black now starting to put pressure on Mark Dobson as well. Jason Gold on the main straight. Williamson chasing hard in car 21. Can Jason Gold hold on? Down the back straight we go. Sits about mid-track. He's holding a good line at the moment, Jason Gold. He's doing exactly to Williamson what Williamson just did to Phil Burgess. He's making him have to work for it, making him go to the outside. Laps starting to count down in this one here. Heat number 2, the Rob McLaren Memorial. Jason Gold powers down the main straight. Then second, Graham Williamson. Burgess still holding third place. Then we go back to Dobson, Black, Bennett, Hewitt. And car 24, Darren McLeod. Williamson now with a big look down the outside of Jason Gold. Nothing between these two cars at the moment. This is a great race, folks. Williamson trying to make a move on Jason Gold. He's on the outside now. Can he get a run out of turn 3 and 4? Gold just parks himself mid-track. One more lap to go. The white flag is out here. Can Jason Gold from Beachland Speedway in Dunedin hold on? Williamson tried to have a look on the inside. Does the switch over, goes to the outside. It's going to be a drag race on the main straight. Can Jason Gold get to the line? In fact, Williamson's going to get there. Graham Williamson on the line over Jason Gold. The 15 of Phil Burgess home in third place ahead of Dan Black, Bennett and Darcy Hewitt. Then Darren McLeod. But Williamson got there by the narrowest of margins. Brilliant drive. Brent Haston gets off to a flyer from the front row of the grid. Car number 24 leads this one here. Zach Newsham ducks up the inside of Shannon Knight. Here comes Brian Tunnyfar looking for a weight down the outside of Brent Haston. Does it with ease. Jenna Tree, she's parked up down there on the inside of turn 1 and 2, just struggling to get back on the track at the moment. That greasy infield. Shannon Knight also parked up. Car number 29. The 99 of Adam Neighbour, he's gone infield. So a couple of the big antagonists, you might say, currently parked up. Neighbour trying to get back out on track. Here's your race leader, Brian Tunnyfar. Newsham in second. Then we go back to Haston. Luke Fellows. Peter Knight. Rylan Ainabel. Reed's come on. I imagine that'll be to move Shannon Knight's car down to the infield. So not the way Shannon Knight would have wanted to finish his race season, parked up down there on the infield. Of course, he usually loves to get a Muncie action. In fact, it looks like he's going to head back out on track, but I don't know whether or not they will allow that. We'll wait and see what gets called. So they are allowing it. So Knight stays out on track. Sean Hughes, bit of an adjust to the mirrors down the main straight here. Through comes Jenna Tree, the race leader, Brian Tunnyfar from Central Motor Speedway. Zach Newsham, he's done well. He's up in second place at the moment. He's about to get some attention though from Luke Fellows, car number 131. Then Peter Knight. Brent Haston, he's next in the queue. Here comes the 79 of Sean Hughes. Tries to give Casey McEwen a bit of a tidy up down there between turns 1 and 2. Jenna Tree, she's going after Brian Tunifar. Tunifar, too much power. Heads off down the back straight. Here comes Neighbour on Casey McEwen. Gets into the back of him down there between 3 and 4. Can't quite make it stick. A lot of congestion down here on the main straight at the moment. Newsham's there. Luke Fellows managed to get through on him. Newsham ducks up the inside. Peter Knight goes into Fellows. And the 79 of Sean Hughes gets put into the wall on the outside of turn number 2. Of course, Hughes was the man that got put over on the wall down here in race number 2. So I'd imagine we will go... Oh, big contact there. Jenna Tree and Casey McEwen. Hughes wouldn't have known what had hit him there. He was parked up.
Losing control, I gotta know who's in control. Me. Losing control, I'm gonna explode. Can you bring it back to me? Bring it back to me, oh please. It's the only thing I need. I can deal with this, oh please. It's making me feel so weak.
So in the starters' hands once more, the Ronnie Tree Memorial for Stockcars. Your race leader, car number 98 out of Central Motor Speedway. That'll be him coming onto the main straight now. Brian Tunifar, a race win and a second placing so far today. This could be enough for him to bank the Ronnie Tree Memorial. Zach Newsham holding second place, his best result so far in a stock car if he can hold that position, and Luke Fellows in third place. Then we go back to Casey McEwen, Peter Knight. Knight gets into the back of McEwen, then Jenna Tree, Brent Haston, Shannon Knight. Brian Tunifar ducks down the inside of Rylan Annabelle in car number 5. Puts him a lap down. Brent Haston all over the back of Jenna Tree at the moment. Shannon Knight about to join the party here. He goes into Brent Haston, gives him an absolute belting down there in turn 1 and 2. Haston gets going once more. So it's still Tunifar with the lead. Newsham in second. Then we go back to Luke Fallow. Lap starting to count down here. The final race for the Ronnie Tree Memorial here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. So trouble for Newsham and Fallow. Newsham was sitting up as far as second place. That'll hurt. That'll drop him down the order. Tunifar goes through. White flag is out for Brian Tunifar. One more lap to run. Newsham adjusts the mirrors. Off he goes once more. Peter Knight, Brent Haston, they ever coming together down there between 1 and 2. He sends Haston out towards the wall. Checkered flag comes out for Brian Tunifar. He takes out heat number 3 and what should be the Ronnie Tree Memorial for 2022-23 here. I'll have to go and see the lap scorers to see who got second and third place, but well done Brian Tunifar, taking out the Ronnie Tree Memorial here for Stockcars. We'll take a quick pause for the cause, folks. I'll go and find out who was second and third. We'll be back with race action in just a moment. Of action to decide the Southland Sprint Car Championship, the only title that has not been decided as far as Southland Championships go this season. As I mentioned, Colvin is your defending champion. You would dearly love to go back-to-back as far as Southland Championships go. Stronach would dearly love to grab her first Southland Championship. Ross McKinnell, he would dearly love to take a Southland Championship on his home track. Green flag drops, we go racing. A nice start by Stronach. Colvin, second place at the moment, powers it down the back straight. McKinnell not too far off the pace of Colvin at the moment. Of course, Colvin had that big spin in heat number 2, which really hurt him, dropped him down the field. He came back to third place. But at the moment, Stronach in the box seat, car number 21. As we mentioned earlier on, she picked up a War of the Wings heat win here just a few meetings ago. Oh, Sivrite's gone down to the infield there, a wild ride for car 14. He's going to come back out on the main straight here and tuck back in behind Ross McKinnell. Manages to get back on, does well. Stronach still in total control. Powers off down the back straight. Definitely a coming of age as far as her driving goes here this afternoon. Colvin still throwing absolutely everything he can at this one here. You can see the power of car number 42 as he accelerates out of turn 2. Front wheels in the air on the main straight, so plenty of drive out there for these sprint cars. 800 to 900 odd horsepower, 160 k's down the straight here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway. Stronach through again, then Colvin. Ross McKinnell comfortably in third at the moment. Sivrite's done well. He's coming back in this one after that bit of an excursion, trying to chase down Ross McKinnell. So lapping a bit left to go for the Southland Sprint Car Championship. Shannara Stronach comes on through. One more to run for Stronach. Can she become the Southland Sprint Car Champion here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway? You bet she can. She's into the last corner. Turn 3, turn 4. We have a new Southland champion in the form of Shannara Stronach, car number 21 from Central Motor Speedway. Colvin home in second place. And a great battle with Ross McKinnell and John Sivrite. McKinnell's going to get there. That's unofficial, folks, but 2 race wins and a solid second place for Shannara Stronach should give her the Southland Sprint Car Championship. Well done, young lady. Congratulations, of course, to that team. Colvin goes past and gives the thumbs up. He's happy to settle second. But Shannara Stronach, folks, put your hands together as she comes round. 2 race wins from 3 starts, solid second place. Should be enough to see her crowned Southland Sprint Car Champion. Well done. Dryden gets away. McCaddy barges his way through. He's got Finch right on his back bumper at the moment. McCaddy not messing around. He'd like to get up there and have a crack at Dryden. Of course, he is the defending Cecile Kergozou Memorial Champion. He's in second place at the moment. Finch in third. Then we go back to AJ Lapsley, Stu Reed, Graham McKernan, the 3-4-5 of Ben Jenkins and Steve Dryden. Car 33 at the tail of this field. Oh, McCaddy into Dryden hard down there. Car number 82 absolutely spat out. He, of course, was your leader. Can that car up by the toilets on the back straight, can you just flick your headlights off, please? The white 4-wheel drive up by the toilets, flick your headlights off, please. So Dylan McCaddy leads this one here. 4.75, that's Finch holding second place at the moment. Then we go back to Lapsley, Graham McKernan. He got down here in front of the control tower. Ben Jenkins goes down the inside of Stu Reed. We've gone red earlier this morning, putting us behind about an hour and a half. Get underway once more. Your race leader, Dylan McCaddy, car number 10. Bob Christie Auto Painters sponsored machine. And behind him we see Alan Finch, car number 475. Then AJ Lapsley. That's your top 3 at the moment. Ben Jenkins in 4th place. So Steve Dryden, you can see Dryden right down on the pole line, just waiting at the moment. Finch tucks in behind Dryden, tries to have a crack. Adam Lapsley into the back of the 475. Ben Jenkins is going to come through though. He's all over the back of AJ Lapsley. He's going to spin him down there in turn number 2. Carries on going down the back straight, but that's certainly opened up a massive lead for car number 10, Dylan McCaddy, in race number 3 of the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. He is the defending champion. Not sure what his points look like heading into this race here. But those 2 cars, car number 345, Ben Jenkins, and 475 of Alan Finch. I'd imagine they've probably got a pretty good fistful of points in this title so far. Dryden still just cruising around. He's waiting. They took care of Troy Dryden early in this one here, but he's still out on track. McCaddy trying to get past Steve Dryden. Manages to free himself. Graham McKernan up ahead of him now. So Ben Jenkins, Steve Dryden, they have another go. Jenkins manages to get past, so does Finch. So Dryden misses the opportunity once more. Still Dylan McCaddy, car number 10, who leads this one here, race 3 for the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. AJ Lapsley, he gets spat out down there in turns 3 and 4. Big hit, Ben Jenkins into the back of Graham McKernan. It's going to pin him out towards the wall though if he doesn't get out of there, which he manages to do so, but he loses a spot. Finch manages to get through. So the 2 Beachlands cars pretty much working in tandem at the moment. Steve Dryden still waiting. Car number 33. Keep an eye on car 33, folks. Down here in turn 1 and 2. 2 Dunedin cars. Coming at him. Dryden wants to play the spoiler. In fact, he doesn't. He's let them pass. That surprises me. He's gone after them all race. And now they've both slipped through. So McCaddy, car number 10, is still your race leader. Finch in 2nd place, then Jenkins. AJ Lapsley just ahead of the race leader at the moment. He lets McCaddy through, ducks in behind McCaddy and McKernan. In those 2 Dunedin cars, Finch and Jenkins. Lapsley out towards the wall there in turn number 2. McCaddy on the main straight. White flag is out for car 10. No one in front of him at the moment, so failing anything mechanical for McCaddy, he should come home to win this one here. Comes around 3 and 4. The light really fading here at Riverside Speedway. It's going to be Dylan McCaddy who takes out heat number 3 of the Cecile Kergozou Memorial. Finch and Jenkins, they're side by side. They're having a go at each other now as well, but it's going to be Finch in 2nd place. The 345 of Ben Jenkins in 3rd. That there is Streetstocks done and dusted here. If we find out who the winner is before the end of the meeting tonight, we'll certainly let you folks know. But it's a race win to car 10, Dylan McCaddy. Car number 15, of course, that is Phil Burgess. 51, Mark Dobson. And we have 66, which of course is Ryan Bennett. Of course, a massive thanks to Disturbed Racing, CK Catering, K&D Automotive, Mark Dobson, X Factor Cars, Stu Little Mechanical, and Pits TV. Of course, they threw a bit of money in the kitty for the Saloons here this afternoon as well. So a nice fistful of cash awaiting these drivers at the end of tonight's racing. So down into 1 and 2 we go. Darcy Hewitt, Jason Gold. They're side by side. Hewitt leaves the door open. Williamson goes through. Of course, these 2 cars, they were nose to tail for all of race number 2, Williamson and Gold. But Darcy Hewitt putting on a good show here in car 11. He's certainly not going to let Williamson get away too easy. Oh, Jason Gold went a little bit high and wide there, brought Williamson back into it. Wee bit of contact between Hewitt and Williamson there also. Dan Black slows up. Phil Burgess behind him. Then we see Bennett and Dobson. So Gold still leading. Williamson, a little bit loose coming out of 2. Darcy Hewitt looking racy. He's in 3rd place.
My camera's gone.
Just needs to keep his composure. Does Hewitt. Then we go back to Black. Burgess, Bennett and Dobson. But out in front, couple of car lengths in it. Jason Gold ahead of Graham Williamson. Fading light here. Gold sitting mid-track, looking racy. Williamson still chasing hard. It's almost a carbon copy of what we've seen in race number 2. Hewitt this time though, looking a bit racier in car 11. Sitting out high and wide. Trying to find a little bit of drive. Then Dan Black. The 15 of Phil Burgess. It's a good battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. Nothing between those back markers. Williamson starting to size up Jason Gold. Getting closer as this race starts to roll on. He thought about a look down the inside. Darcy Hewitt, he's got a front row seat for this battle. Gold looks really good coming out of 3 and 4 onto the main straight. It's down in 1 and 2 here where Williamson seems to make that little bit of ground. A car length between the leaders at the moment. Nice drive out of 2 by Williamson. He pulls back. Valuable card space at the moment. Williamson with a look on the inside. Jason Gold shuts the door once more. Can that car in 1 and 2 turn your lights off, please? The car in turn 1 and 2, turn your lights off. Williamson attacks once more. The laps counting down here. Gold still holding a lead. He's managed to pull away slightly from Williamson. Williamson closes the gap once more. Williamson so quick on entry to the corners, but Gold, he's up to the task coming out of them. Darcy Hewitt, he's doing a great job in this one here. He's in 3rd place at the moment. Then we go back to Burgess, Black, Bennett and Dobson. Williamson with another look. White flag is out. Can Jason Gold hold on this time? Oh, he's made a mistake in turn 2. Can Williamson capitalise? Nothing between the lead cars. The Rob McLaren Memorial is what is on the line here. Can Williamson size him up on the home straight? Not this time. Jason Gold brings it home. Williamson in 2nd place. Then we go back to Darcy Hewitt. A solid finish for Hewitt. Then Burgess, Black, Bennett and Dobson. But well done, Jason Gold. He takes it out. And with him, I would imagine he's probably banked himself the Rob McLaren Memorial. Williamson in 2nd place. Then Darcy Hewitt with a well-driven 3rd, but Jason Gold, he battled hard. He let Williamson get him in race number 2. Wasn't going to happen this time around. Jason Gold picks up race number 3 for Saloons here at Aotea Electric Riverside Speedway.